What if I told you that the most powerful tool for personal transformation isn't therapy, coaching, or meditation, but a simple practice that takes just 10 minutes a day? Today, I'm revealing the ancient art of philosophical journaling, the secret practice that Marcus Aurelius used to become the wisest leader in history. His personal journal became Meditations, one of the most influential books ever written. And today, you're going to learn his exact method. Before I show you how to use writing as your path to wisdom, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Why? Because what I'm about to teach you isn't just journaling. It's a systematic method for developing clarity, wisdom, and unshakable inner strength. This is episode 8 of Be Stoic Every Day. And if you want to think more clearly and live more wisely, you can't miss this. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Daily Stoic Insights. I'm your host, and today we're exploring the practice that ties together everything we've covered in this series. Marcus Aurelius never intended for anyone to read his journal. Meditations was his private practice, a daily conversation with himself about how to live well, how to handle challenges, and how to become a better person. Yet this personal journal has guided millions of people for nearly 2,000 years. Why? Because philosophical journaling isn't just writing about your day. It's a systematic method for examining your thoughts, challenging your assumptions, and developing wisdom through reflection. Seneca wrote letters to his friend Lucilius that were essentially philosophical journal entries shared. Epictetus taught his students to examine their thoughts and beliefs daily. All the great Stoics understood that wisdom comes not just from reading philosophy, but from actively applying it to your own life through writing. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to use this ancient practice to accelerate your personal growth and develop unshakable wisdom. Here's what I'm going to give you today. First, the exact journaling framework that Marcus Aurelius used, adapted for modern life. Second, specific prompts and techniques for different types of philosophical reflection. And third, a simple daily practice that will make you wiser, clearer, and more resilient. Plus, I've got real examples from my own journal that show how this works in practice. Let's start by understanding what makes philosophical journaling different from regular journaling. Regular journaling focuses on events and emotions, records what happened, expresses feelings, provides emotional release. Philosophical journaling focuses on thoughts and principles, examines why things happened, analyzes responses and choices, develops wisdom and character. Both have value, but philosophical journaling is specifically designed to make you wiser and stronger. The Marcus Aurelius method. Marcus Aurelius structured his journal entries around 3 core elements: morning preparation, setting intentions, and reminding himself of Stoic principles. Evening reflection, examining the day's events and his responses to them. Philosophical inquiry, wrestling with deeper questions about life, virtue, and wisdom. Let me show you how to adapt this for your own practice. Framework number 1, the Daily Stoic Review. Every evening, spend 10 minutes answering these 4 questions. Question 1, what challenged me today, and how did I respond? Don't just list events. Examine your responses. Were you patient or reactive? Wise or impulsive? Virtuous or selfish? Be honest, but not judgmental. Question 2, what did I do well today that I want to continue? Identify moments when you acted according to your values. This reinforces positive patterns and builds confidence in your character. Question 3, what could I have done better? And how will I improve tomorrow? This isn't self-criticism, it's strategic planning. How can you apply Stoic principles more effectively next time? Question 4, what did I learn about myself or life today? Every day offers lessons. Capturing these insights helps you grow wiser over time. Framework number 2, the philosophical dialogue. Once a week, have a written conversation with yourself about a deeper question. Marcus Aurelius did this constantly. Here are some examples. What does it mean to live a good life? How can I be more patient with difficult people? What am I afraid of and why? How can I use this challenge to become stronger? What would I do if I weren't afraid of failure? Write both the question and your response. Then challenge your own answer. Ask follow-up questions. Explore different perspectives. This develops critical thinking and self-awareness. Framework number 3, the principle application. Choose one Stoic principle each week and explore how to apply it in your life. For example, week 1, focus on what you can control. What am I trying to control that's outside my influence? How can I redirect that energy toward what I can actually control? What would change if I truly accepted this principle? Week 2, virtue is the only true good. How did I practice virtue today? When did I choose convenience over virtue? How can I make virtue more important than external outcomes? This systematic approach ensures you're not just reading about philosophy, you're living it. Advanced technique, the perspective shift. When facing a difficult situation, use your journal to explore it from multiple angles. Your perspective. How do you see the situation? What are your emotions and reactions? The other person's perspective. If someone else is involved, try to understand their viewpoint. What might they be thinking or feeling? The Stoic sage's perspective. How would a perfectly wise person handle this situation? What would Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus do? The cosmic perspective. How will this matter in 10 years? How does it fit into the bigger picture of your life and the universe? This technique develops empathy, wisdom, and emotional resilience. Real example from my own journal. Let me share an actual entry from my journal to show you how this works in practice. Today I got frustrated when my video editing software crashed and I lost an hour of work. My immediate reaction was anger and the thought this always happens at the worst time. Stoic analysis. The software crash was outside my control. My reaction was within my control. I chose frustration over acceptance, blame over responsibility. What I did well, I didn't take my frustration out on others. I took a break before trying to solve the problem. What I could improve, I could have seen this as an opportunity to practice patience. I could have used the time to do something else productive instead of dwelling on the loss. Lesson. Technical problems are inevitable. My peace of mind doesn't have to depend on everything working perfectly. This was practice for handling bigger disappointments with grace. Tomorrow's intention. When something goes wrong, I'll pause and ask, how can I use this as practice for virtue? This entry took 5 minutes to write, but gave me insights that changed how I handle similar situations. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, I'm not a good writer, or I don't have time for this. I'm about to address both of those concerns and show you how to make this practice work even if you've never kept a journal before. Plus, I'm going to share the specific prompts that make philosophical journaling effortless. Let's address the most common obstacles to philosophical journaling. Obstacle number 1. I'm not a good writer. This isn't about writing quality. It's about thinking quality. Your journal is for you, not for publication. Write like you talk. Use bullet points if that's easier. The goal is clarity of thought, not literary excellence. Obstacle number 2. I don't have time. Start with just 5 minutes. You can answer one philosophical question in 5 minutes. You can do a quick daily review in 5 minutes. Consistency matters more than duration. Obstacle number 3. I don't know what to write. Use prompts. I'm going to give you a list of 30 prompts that will carry you through your first month. Obstacle number 4. It feels selfish or self-indulgent. Philosophical journaling makes you a better person, which makes you better for everyone around you. When you're wiser, more patient, and more resilient, you serve others better. 30 philosophical journaling prompts. Week 1. Self-knowledge. What are my core values? And how did I live them today? What triggers my anger? And how can I respond more wisely? What am I afraid of? And is that fear rational? What do I need to let go of to be happier? How do I want to be remembered? What would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? What patterns in my behavior do I want to change? Week 2. Relationships 8. How can I be more patient with difficult people? 9. What do I appreciate most about the people I love? 10. How do I contribute to conflicts in my relationships? 11. What would forgiveness look like in my current situation? 12. How can I show love through actions, not just words? 13. What boundaries do I need to set or maintain? 14. How can I be more present in my relationships? Week 3. Challenges and growth 15. What is this difficult situation trying to teach me? 16. How have my past challenges made me stronger? 17. What would I tell a friend facing my current problem? 18. How can I use this setback as a setup for a comeback? 19. What opportunities are hidden in my current challenges? 20. How can I practice virtue in this difficult situation? 21. What would courage look like in my current circumstances? Week 4. Purpose and meaning 22. What gives my life meaning and purpose? 23. How can I contribute more to others' well-being? 24. What legacy do I want to leave? 25. How can I align my daily actions with my deeper values? 26. What would I regret not doing if I died tomorrow? 27. How can I find joy in ordinary moments? 28. What does success really mean to me? Bonus prompts. 29. If I could give my younger self one piece of advice, what would it be? 30. What am I most grateful for right now and why? Digital versus physical journaling. Both have advantages. Physical journaling. No distractions. Better for reflection. Tactile satisfaction. Can't be hacked or lost to technical problems. Digital journaling. Easier to search and organize. Faster typing for some people. Can include links and multimedia. Automatic backups. Choose whatever format you'll actually use consistently. Before I share the simple daily practice that ties this all together, let me tell you about the most powerful benefit of philosophical journaling. One that most people never expect, but that changes everything about how you see yourself and your life. Plus, I've got a 30-day challenge that will prove to you how transformative this practice can be. The most powerful benefit of philosophical journaling isn't what you might expect. It's not just clarity or wisdom or emotional regulation. It's this: you become your own best teacher. When you regularly examine your thoughts, challenge your assumptions, and reflect on your experiences, you develop what philosophers call metacognition, thinking about thinking. You become aware of your mental patterns, emotional triggers, and behavioral habits. This awareness gives you choice. Instead of being unconsciously driven by old patterns, you can consciously choose new responses. Instead of being a victim of your circumstances, you become the author of your character. The compound effect. Philosophical journaling has a compound effect. Each insight builds on previous insights. Each moment of clarity makes the next moment clearer. Each wise choice makes the next wise choice easier. After a year of consistent philosophical journaling, you'll look back and be amazed at how much you've grown. Problems that used to overwhelm you will seem manageable. Situations that used to trigger you will feel neutral. You'll have developed a deep well of wisdom to draw from. Real transformation stories. Maria started philosophical journaling during a difficult divorce. Initially, her entries were full of anger and blame. But as she consistently applied Stoic principles through writing, she began to see her role in the relationship's problems. She developed compassion for her ex-husband and focused on what she could control, her own healing and growth. A year later, they had an amicable co-parenting relationship, and she had found peace. James used philosophical journaling to overcome social anxiety. By examining his fears and challenging his assumptions about what others thought of him, he gradually built confidence. He started speaking up in meetings, networking at events, and eventually got promoted to a leadership role. The simple daily practice. Here's how to make philosophical journaling a sustainable habit. Morning, 2 minutes. Write one intention for the day based on a Stoic principle. Example: today, I will practice patience by pausing before reacting to frustration. Evening, 8 minutes, do the daily Stoic review. Answer the 4 questions I shared earlier. Weekly, 20 minutes, choose one deeper question and explore it thoroughly. That's it. 10 minutes a day, plus 20 minutes once a week. In exchange, you get accelerated wisdom, emotional resilience, and continuous personal growth. Here's what happens when you master philosophical journaling. You become your own philosopher. You don't need external validation to know if you're living well. You have an internal compass calibrated by wisdom and reflection. You stop making the same mistakes repeatedly because you learn from each experience. You stop being overwhelmed by emotions because you understand them. You stop being confused about what matters because you've clarified your values. But most importantly, you become the kind of person you respect. Through daily examination and reflection, you align your actions with your values, your choices with your principles, your life with your wisdom. Marcus Aurelius wrote his journal for an audience of one himself. Yet it has guided millions because authentic self-examination reveals universal truths. When you truly know yourself, you understand humanity. Here's your 30-day philosophical journaling challenge. Days 1 to 7. Practice the simple daily routine, morning intention, and evening review. Days 8 to 14. Add one weekly deep reflection using the prompts I provided. Days 15 to 21. Experiment with the philosophical dialogue technique. Have written conversations with yourself about important questions. Days 22 to 30. Combine all techniques and develop your own personalized approach. Track your progress. How does your thinking change over the 30 days? What patterns do you notice in your behavior and emotions? What insights surprise you most? How does this practice affect your daily decisions and relationships? End of challenge reflection. What did you learn about yourself? How has your relationship with challenges and difficulties changed? What philosophical insights will you carry forward? How will you continue this practice beyond the 30 days? If you're ready to become your own philosopher and accelerate your wisdom through writing, smash that like button. You're not just supporting the channel, you're committing to self-examination and growth. You're saying, I choose to learn from my life instead of just living it. Comment below with I commit to 30 days of philosophical journaling and tell me what question you're most excited to explore. When you make a public commitment, you're more likely to follow through. Share this video with someone who's struggling with clarity, dealing with challenges, or wanting to grow but not sure how. Give them the gift of self-reflection. Show them that wisdom comes not from having all the answers, but from asking better questions. Subscribe and hit that notification bell because next week we're covering the Stoic art of friendship, how to build relationships based on virtue, mutual growth, and authentic connection. It's the foundation of a meaningful life. Remember, you have within you right now everything you need to become wise. You just need to examine it, question it, and learn from it. Your journal is your laboratory for wisdom, and every entry is an experiment in becoming better. Until next time, stay stoic, stay reflective, and keep growing.